What up? It's Wednesday, it's New Comic Book Day, and we are here to talk about this week's best comics. Man, there are a lot of them this week. I think I said that last week too, but I really loved everything I read this week. We will kick things off with, I'm going to go with my pick of the week. The new issue of Astonishing XMen. I don't know what number it is. 14, maybe? I didn't bring it in because it's out there, and I'd rather sell it. If you're just joining us, let us know that you're out there. Give us some hearts and thumbs up, and we'll start talking about the comics we like most. As I said, my pick of the week is the new issue of Astonishing XMen by Matthew Rosenberg and Greg Land. This is the second part of the X-Man known as Havoc, assembling a new team to do good, I think. That's what they're supposed to be doing. Havoc has had kind of a rough go of it lately. His mind was taken over by the Red Skull / Professor X, I think, in Uncanny Avengers, maybe. I stopped reading that a while ago. But Havoc has always been one of my favorite characters. I talked about Rosenberg's first issue last time it came out, and this is just it's a fun, action-packed story with heart. It's really designed for existing Marvel fans. So if that's who you are and you like the X-Men at all, then I highly recommend picking up Astonishing X-Men. It had humor, it had action, it had great interactions, great characterizations, great moments between the characters, and a great team. So it's Havoc, Beast, Colossus, who was left at the altar, who's been jilted, and he's just basically a drunk, brooding guy at this point. Dazzler, who's having a rough go of it as well. She's on some sort of anniversary tour and no one cares, and she can't wait to get back into being an X-Man again. Forge is her roadie / technician on the show, and he's in the group too. And then Warpath is there as a babysitter sent by Kitty Pryde. So it's just an awesome book. As I've mentioned previously, I'll read anything that Matthew Rosenberg writes at this point, and his love of Marvel is evident. There are certain, Tom King has a really good grasp of what's going on with Batman over at DC. Scott Snyder the same way. Jeff Johns. If we switch over to Marvel, Matthew Rosenberg, Donny Cates, Dan Slott, guys like that, they really know their Marvel stuff, and it's a deep dive, and it's accessible at the same time. So I really loved it. I can't say enough about it. That is my X book right now, is Astonishing X-Men.
Sticking in X-Men world, we've got XMen Gold. Which one? That's right, there's 2 issues of XMen Gold this week. We've got the regular issue written by a series regular writer Marc Guggenheim. Is that true? I'm pretty sure it's Guggenheim.
I'm going to say sure.
And then we've got the X-Men Gold Annual 2, written by Shauna McGuire, who you may remember from writing novels and role-playing books. So she's worked on some of my favorite RPGs, which is the main reason I checked out this annual. Usually if you do an annual with a different writer, I'm not super amped to check it out, but I like her other work, so I checked it out, and it's really good. Basically, this is entirely a flashback story about a young Kitty Pryde. This seems like her first year with the X-Men, and she goes back to camp. So she takes time off from the X-Men to go to a summer camp. She sees people she knew from her human life. There's another mutant at the camp, and it's just great, fun, teen angst, maybe a little bit of a romance angle. And of course, as always, there's the mutant thing has to come up because people are hated and feared, and it was just a lot of fun. It was not exactly what I expected from an X-Men Gold annual, but I really enjoyed it and thought it was good. If you're a Kitty Pryde fan, must read.
Excellent. Hi to Chris and Michael. Thanks for joining us on our live broadcast today, talking about the great new releases that are out. Next up for me, I'm going to jump over to the land of indie books and talk about Leviathan #1. This is from Image Comics. This is the new series by John Layman, who is the writer of Chew. And we know there are lots of Chew fans out there. We haven't had any new Chew in quite a while. The series is over and done with. A couple weeks ago, we had the premiere of Farmhand by Rob Gilroy, who was the artist on Chew, and he's writing as well. And now we have Layman doing Leviathan. This is artwork by Nick Patera, who you may remember from Manhattan Projects. And I loved the heck out of this book. This is a mashup of Pacific Rim and Godzilla and current events and being a 20-something in a major city. Just a lot of cool stuff. Our characters, basically, our main character is on a beer run at about midnight for a party with a bunch of people at his house that he really doesn't want there. And in the midst of all this, the people that are still at his house, there's this goth guy who decides that he wants to summon a demon sort of thing. There's a priest involved in the story who is preparing his sermon, but is talking about dragons and serpents and things like that. And then, lo and behold, a Godzilla-type dragon character emerges from the bowels of the earth and wreaks havoc on the city. Again, humor, action, drama, amazing artwork by Pitara. His artwork is very unique, and I didn't even look at who the artist was on the cover, the name. I just started reading it, and as soon as I saw his art, I recognized it as the art from Manhattan Projects, which was another kind of off the wall. In fact, I would compare this kind of sort of, if you liked the kind of the off the wall storytelling of Manhattan Projects, you would like Leviathan as well. I really dug it. I'm sure you liked it.
I did.
Too.
It was cool.
Yeah. Anything to add?
No. I mean, it's nice to have point of view characters who are, for lack of a better term, like us, like they're nerds. So there's people referencing pop culture things to align themselves and understand what's going on around them. And it was a lot of fun. Very cool. Also in Indie Land, another new #1 from Burger Books over at Dark Horse. We've got The Seeds #1. From Ann Nocenti, who you remember from writing Daredevil like a billion years ago, and probably some other stuff since then, and David Aja.
I used to know how to say his last name, but I don't.
Aya, possibly.
I think that's what it is. I think it's
David Aya. But this is. Sorry, what?
Nothing.
New book from David Aja was the main reason I checked it out. I loved his work on Hawkeye with Matt Fraction, and if you liked the visual style of that book, the covers, the panel layouts, the art, you're definitely going to want to check this out. I haven't read an Ann Nocenti comic in a long time, but I really did like the dialogue and the characterization in this. This is a weird post-apocalyptic future where we've kind of blocked people into cities and told them that everything out in the wasteland is awful and you shouldn't go out there, where you're disconnected from things. And we've also got what appears to be aliens maybe infiltrating and trying to size us up, but it's a very sort of, it sounds like it's sci-fi, but it's very sort of down to earth, like I almost want to compare it to like a Tarantino-esque thing where like the characters are doing these things that are kind of science fiction or high concept stuff, but while they're doing it, they're talking like normal people. They're having normal lives going about it day to day. So it's really interesting and relatable, and I did not know what was going to happen from page to page, and just really enjoyed it. I'm super excited for the next issue. Yeah, The Seeds from Aja and Nocenti. It's really cool.
I spaced out for a minute at the beginning of your presentation on that. Did you mention Karen Berger?
I mentioned that it was from Burger Books,
okay.
But yes, Karen Berger, the editor who basically created Vertigo for DC, and so Sandman, Hellblazer, all that kind of stuff was under her umbrella. This is her imprint at Dark Horse, so she kind of shepherds these books in. So if she thinks it's good, that's probably enough of an endorsement for anyone, I would hope.
Yeah. So if Vertigo, early Vertigo is your jam, then you want to check out The Seeds. It was really good. We had kind of like a Raiders of the Lost Ark teacher Indiana Jones moment there, where Josh was blinking at the screen trying to figure out what this said.
Yeah.
Where Chris referred to him as a beautiful man. That's Christine, by the way.
Okay.
And Amanda's aunt Vicky is on. Amanda is in a different office doing things. So yes, there we go. And I'm glad that Dark Horse is your fave. I'm assuming DH might be designated hitter, might be. I don't know anybody else with the initials.
Derek Hernandez.
It could be Derek. Her last name is Hernandez, so maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do a double shot of
espresso.
Yes. No. Donny Cates. Mr. Donny Cates is the other creator over at Marvel right now, where I will read anything he writes. He's currently writing Venom, doing an incredible job telling basically a new mythology for the symbiotes, and doing a great job over there. This week he has 2 books out. Cosmic Ghost Rider #2. #1 is still available here, by the way. And that is just a... If you like Deadpool, you will like Cosmic Ghost Rider. If you like Frank Castle, you will like Cosmic Ghost Rider. If you like crazy, off-the-wall space antics and with a baby Thanos, you'll like Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Oh, yeah.
It's just great. It is truly entertaining. Also entertaining, but much more of a downer, is Death of the Inhumans #2, written by Donny Cates. And the Inhumans are dying. This is... Here's the... I was thinking about this last night as I was reading this. I have to think that the discussion when something like this... they bring Donny Cates in, and the Marvel management's like, so we tried to make the Inhumans important. We tried to make them our new X-Men, and we failed miserably. So now we just want them off the table. Donny, can you do that for us? And he's like, yeah, absolutely, man. We can kill the Inhumans. So that's what's happening. We saw... It's been a month, actually. Is it fair to talk about the ending of the first issue?
Sure.
I think so.
It's been a month.
So we lose Maximus the Mad, so Black Bolt's brother, at the end of issue #1, and Lockjaw. Lockjaw, the teleporting dog that everyone loves, is dead. I won't tell you who buys it in issue #2, but some people do.
I haven't read 2 yet, so Lockjaw is dead?
Yeah.
Because the ending was kind of ambiguous.
I mean, I suppose there could be some... Maybe they've been transported elsewhere or something,
right.
But
with Lockjaw, I always just assumed
it really looks like Lockjaw is dead, and so is Maximus, and now so are some other people.
So Triton died in the first one?
Yes, Triton is also dead. So yes, the Inhumans are being killed off by Donny Cates because Marvel doesn't love them anymore. Perhaps, and honestly, I could give a rat's ass about about the Inhumans. I've enjoyed the stories where they've been supporting characters in Marvel Comics since I've been reading Marvel Comics for the last 30-odd years. But Cates has made me care about what's happening here. It's his style of writing. If it was a clunkier, more cerebral, and this isn't an insult to his writing. I think his writing is very accessible. Some writers write very brainy. They write and use $500 words and do that sort of thing. And that's not what this is. This is a very accessible book for those of you that want to see what happened to the Inhumans. So 2 books by Donny Cates. They're both great. One's a lot of fun. One is not. But they're both very enjoyable.
I will see your 2 books by Donny Cates, and I will raise you 2 books by Tom King. So we've got Batman 52. Actually, none of his books are fun this week. I love them, but they're not fun.
2 books by Tom King?
Two books by Tom King.
What was the other one?
Mr. Miracle.
Oh, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Batman 52, with art by the always awesome Lee Weeks, continues Cold Days. Batman got left at the altar. He's having a rough time.
He should be hanging out with Colossus.
Colossus, yeah. There should be like
I want to see that book. Can we get a crossover, a company crossover at this point?
That is what we need.
Left at the altar.
Bruce Wayne and Peter Rasputin on the road. Hard traveling heroes, drinking. But so Bruce has got jury duty. He is investigating a Mr. Freeze is on trial for experimenting on women. Potentially, I think he's got murder charges on there because they're dead now.
Yes, they're three.
Well, I wasn't sure what he's actually being charged with, but yes.
Everything,
all of the things. And Batman was the one to bring Freeze in. So Bruce is basically, it's 12 Angry Men. It's a courtroom scene in the jury room, all jury deliberation pretty much. And Bruce is clearly questioning his own choices and what's going on. And he can't, basically he's broken from Selina leaving him, and he's trying to work through if he understands what he's doing. It's brilliant. It's poignant. It is not for everybody, but I enjoyed the crap out of it. Also brilliant and poignant. Mr. Miracle, I think we're on issue 10 this week. That book is freaking heartbreaking every month when it comes out. It is amazing, and it is easily the greatest Mr. Miracle story ever told. Take that, Jack Kirby.
Oof.
Plus we get a bunch more Funky Flashmen. Okay, so if you're not reading the book, I'm going to explain this, because if you're not reading it, you don't care, but you should check it out in trade. So Funky Flashmen, which is DC's parody version of Stan Lee, is the babysitter for Scott and Barda's son. And in this, he tells us basically it's parodying the creation, the Kirby Lee creation of the Fantastic Four. He, the babysitter, is talking about how he and the baby created something, and he's like, "I came up with the ideas, but then he was." And it's so brilliant. It's so inside baseball and relatable, and just an amazing, amazing book. So you should be reading Tom King's stuff. Check out the Vision from Marvel, Batman, Sheriff of Babylon is really good.
Belated congratulations to Tom King, who was awarded Best Writer at the 2018 Eisner Awards at San Diego.
Which is like the Oscars for comics.
Which is the Oscars for comics. It was actually a tie for Best Writer.
Really?
Tom King and Marjorie Liu for Monstrous.
That's really good.
Yes, and Monstrous also won Best Publication for Teens, Best Digital Artist, Best Cover Artist. Monstrous won a lot, so if you're not reading Monstrous, you should read that too. But Tom King, congratulations.
Yeah.
All right, if you're just joining us, give us a shout out. Let us know that you're out there. And I will move on to 2 more Marvel books, because I did read some DC. I want to give a tip of the hat to Lee Weeks' art on Batman 52 and 51. This guy is amazing. His artwork, I think his artwork is better now than it was in the 1990s, the early 1990s. And I loved his stuff back then. So if you want to see, if you like Lee Weeks' art, go back and check out some of his Daredevil stuff. He's done all kinds of work for Marvel and DC and indie books. But it is so great to see somebody of his caliber and reputation doing something that has mass appeal right now, and his artwork being exposed to a whole new generation of fans. Great stuff.
Hi, Jackie.
He is also a pretty good amateur magician.
He loves Mark's kids.
Yes. He occasionally watches this show, so we'll see. All right, 2 more Marvel books for me, and really, I had a revelation last night. I had a what's the word? An epiphany. Kind of, sort of. It wasn't an epiphany. It was more of a revelation. So Marvel's going through this fresh start phase. And we gave him a bunch of crap over it, kind of, both on air and off air. Fresh start, to me, sounded like Fresh Step, which is the kitty litter. They reboot everything every few months. It's start, stop, cancel, restart. But I really have to say, I'm impressed by what they've got going on with these new series. Not the new series, with the rebooted series. Mm-hmm. Ta-Nehisi Coates on Captain America, for example, and Leinil Francis Yu providing the artwork. Captain America #2 comes out this week, and it is a great story. #1 was excellent as well. I really enjoyed it. Man, I get back to work.
Hi, Jess. Hi, Cincy.
Just kidding.
Hi, Chris. Hi, Vicky. No, we are still here.
See, now I've...
Hi, anyway. Extra highs for them.
Just joined the stream. Woot woot. I'm just going to read everyone's comments. So Captain America #2 is excellent, and just as I think Lee Weeks is doing some of the best work of his career, I think Leinil Yu is doing some of the best work of his career. Captain America 2 might be the best looking book on the stands this week. And that's high praise, because there's all kinds of beautiful artwork on the stands this week. Captain America 2 is a must pick up if you like the Star Spangled Avenger, if you want to find out where that character is. This is post, I want to say Secret Empire.
Secret Empire, yep.
So he is dealing with some stuff. He is not necessarily viewed in a positive way in the public. Some of his former allies are not really down with Captain America and what happened during Secret Empire. So... yeah, man, it was really, really good. Also from Marvel, Infinity Wars #1. This is a mini-series where all of the Infinity Stones or gems or gemstones, whatever you want to call them, are now back on Earth in the possession of different people, some nefarious, some heroic, and Doctor Strange has assembled a Council of Elrond with everyone bringing their stones. Even Black Widow. She's got stones. And yeah, I guess I can spoil this because it happened last week and it's kind of out there and you kind of need to know. Thanos is dead, killed by a character called Requiem, and we do find out who Requiem is in this issue. We'll talk about art again. Mike Deodato's artwork in here is stellar. There are many times when I don't like Mike Deodato's artwork, when it seems more photorealistic, when sometimes it just doesn't work for me. It totally worked in Infinity Wars. And I don't know what they did with their paper quality, but I think the interior paper quality, I think they've improved their paper quality all around book. It reads great. It looks great. Stuff happens. The Infinity Stones are on Earth. We find out who Requiem is. Very good. You liked it?
I did. Next up, we've got Justice League 5. This is Legion of Doom, and this is, you're saying, a one-shot, or they're going to be sporadic? Is that correct?
You know what? It's not a one-shot, but every few issues, James Tynion IV will come on to write a Legion of Doom
and
chapter.
I will show up whenever James Tynion IV shows up.
Yes.
Art by Doug Mahnke, and this is Lex Luthor assembling his Legion of Doom. It's brilliant and poignant and awesome. Are we still live?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Hi again to everyone.
Just had to check because we lost the feed on my iPad.
Yeah. But we basically get to see him going around like Ocean's 11, assembling his crew, and we get to see part of his plan, and just... It's really easy to go over the top when you're dealing with people like Lex Luthor and Gorilla Grodd and Sinestro and the Joker, and Tynion hit the perfect level of crazy villain versus understandable person who would actually do things, you know, because nobody wants to do something that's going to obviously fail or get punched in the face by Superman. So just really, really top-notch villain storytelling in Justice League this week.
Okay, I'll do this one, you do that one. Our buddy Tom Zoller has released a graphic novel collection of his webcomic, Warning Label. This was a Kickstarter project that Alter Ego Comics helped to fund. There was a retailer level, and we were more than happy to help Tom out with this. And I'm not a fan of webcomics, so I had not read any of this material before. I am glad it's available in trade now, and I've started reading it. I'm not done with it. But if you like Time and Vine, if you like Love and Capes, Tom has a very... has a great grasp of nerd language, and he is a great storyteller for people like us. He's a great storyteller, period. But this is about a woman who has been cursed. Apparently curses are a normal thing in this world, by her ex-boyfriend, and whenever someone expresses an interest in her, a list pops up of her faults. And this guy, Jeff, what's her name?
Don't know.
Danielle. Jeff sticks around even though he has the list because he thinks she's pretty darn cool. They have a lot in common, and it is their relationship, how they get through her faults. He shares a list of his faults, and they do a bunch of cool nerdy stuff, like go to a board game bar, and this guy works at kind of like the Alamo Draft House in Austin, Texas.
And she works as a board game designer.
Right, she's a board game designer. So there's a lot to love for people like us, and hopefully people like you. Tom's art is great. His words are amazing. He is a wordsmith. All of the copies that we have, and I should say we have 6 copies right now, are signed by Tom. They all include an exclusive Warning Label enamel pin, some temporary tattoos, which is the tattoo that Danielle has on her arm, a sticker, I think, and I think that's about it. Maybe a postcard. Yeah. But all that can be yours when you pick up Warning Label if you grab one of the first 6 copies that we have available.
So you can't see it, but the tattoo on her arm is the Konami code. Well, it's the Konami code in this universe, but it's basically the Konami code from Contra. So that's super cool, just as a temporary tattoo anyway. But yes, top notch. Really enjoyed it. Tom, go team. All right, so if you like,
Team Tom.
Go Team Tom. Go Team Venture. If you like Gravity Falls, you're a smart, intelligent person with excellent taste. But they don't make more of that. So what we've got now is Gravity Falls Lost Legends. And this is written by Alex Hirsch, the creator of Gravity Falls. And he has a little intro where he says that these are random stories that were a little too weird for television, but just weird enough for your local comic shop. So this is an original graphic novel. These stories have never been anywhere else. From the creator of Gravity Falls. If you're a Gravity Falls fan, it is awesome. It's got a cool underdesk jacket with the mystery question mark from the Mystery House. But yeah, when I said Gravity Falls, you already knew that you wanted it or didn't know what I was talking about. So that's all the PSA you really need to know. But Gravity Falls, original graphic novel, in stores today, available at Alter Ego Comics.
Oh, Christine wants it.
Who doesn't?
Up, up, down, down, left, right. Yep, that's about
the
it.
one.
Gravity Falls. Allison's on board, and she loves Gravity Falls. Come on, folks. Somebody grab this Gravity Falls trade. Or should we just start ordering dozens more now?
Also out, we did get a handful of San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, including the San Diego exclusive Red Skull, who comes with a life-size Cosmic Cube. Look how much cooler this looks on video. Like, in real life, it pulses gently, but, like, on video, it looks freaking amazing.
Hold it like
yeah, you can hold it.
Or whoever.
Yes, but it is so cool. It is so cool.
So yeah, we've got a handful of the Hasbro exclusives. I was able to snag some of those when I was out in San Diego. So we've got the Red Skull with Cosmic Cube. We've got the Transformers Bumblebee with the exclusive cassettes that previously were only available in Japan. And this is number 1 of 2. There will be another Bumblebee that comes out. This is kind of a 70s era muscle car Bumblebee, but they will do the traditional bug sometime in the near future. What else did we get? The Gray Hulk Diamond Select Toys Gallery PVC. We've got one of those left. The Dr. Aphra 3-pack.
Yes.
With it's a 3 3/4 inch Star Wars action figures. Dr. Aphra from the Star Wars comics, introduced first by Kieran Gillen in the Darth Vader series, and her 2 droids.
The murder people.
What are their names?
Trip Zip and
Jeff.
I don't know.
Yes.
Murder bots.
Bebop.
Bebop and Rocksteady.
Something else? Oh, the Black Bolt and Lockjaw.
The Pop 2-pack.
The Pop 2-pack.
And that's the Lockjaw who's like mid-phase with the glow-in-the-dark effect. So that's actually pretty cool.
Lockjaw's dead, so
that's cool.
You should grab this Lockjaw while you can.
Is this like when Elvis died, all of his merchandise shot up in value? Is that what's happening?
Do you know how much the Aphra 3-pack is off the top of your head? No.
I don't.
We'll reply in the comments as soon as we stop our live broadcast.
Yeah, I don't want to lie to you and say it wrong. So.
Yes. So that's it. Man, what a fun week to be in a comic shop and to be reading comics. Make sure you head out to your local comic shop, wherever that is. If you are local, come see us. Keep in mind that this Friday and Saturday is the Downtown Lima annual Chalk Walk competition. You can register for that by calling our friends over at Nitsa's, and you'll get one of the square pieces of sidewalk that are all around downtown. You know, people walk on it. And you'll get to draw something in chalk and possibly win some fabulous prizes. But we'll be having a buy 2 get 1 free sale on all of our single issue comics, excluding new releases. So that's back issues, like older back issues, the ones that are in the long boxes, plus wall stock that is not new this week. So it's buy 2 get 1 free Friday and Saturday as part of the Downtown Lima Chalk Walk. So we hope to see you real soon. If you like this week's broadcast, show us some love, give us thumbs or hearts or whatever. Christine, you're cracking me up here. Come see us. Like, comment, share, get this out in front of more people like you, like us, who appreciate comics and games and all things nerdy.